Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Ayana Rivera, and this is Cause and Effect of Emotions. In this presentation, we'll explore the powerful link between what we feel, why we feel it, and how it impacts our behavior. Let's begin this journey of emotional awareness together. According to SilenceDaily.com, most people agree that emotions can be caused by a specific event and that the person experiencing it is aware of the cause, such as a child's excitement at the sound of an ice cream truck. But recent research suggests emotions also can be unconsciously evoked and manipulated. They can be triggered by a memory, a smell, or even a passing comment, and we might not even realize it's happening. That's why exploring the layers behind our emotion is so important. We often hear name it to tame it. Identifying how we feel is the first step in managing emotional health. Without acknowledgement, emotions can take control, but then when we pause and recognize them, we give ourselves a chance to respond instead of react. The best way to identify our emotions is by acknowledging them. If we don't acknowledge how we feel, how can we combat them? Sometimes we may want to know how we feel to practice mindfulness. Either way, we should recognize our emotions first and decide whether it's useful or not. Throughout the presentation, we'll be asking three simple but powerful questions. What am I feeling? Why am I feeling it? And how is it showing up in my life and in my behavior? These questions create emotional clarity and empower self advocacy. Let's start with what. What am I feeling? I'm feeling rejected and unwanted after not being invited to a close friend's gathering. What thoughts led me to this emotion? I assumed my absence meant I wasn't valued or included anymore. What tools can I use to combat this? I can pause and ground myself by journaling what actually happened, the facts, and then reach out to my friend to clarify before jumping to conclusions. Why am I feeling this emotion? Because I deeply care about my friendships and I fear being left out or replaced. Why am I having these thoughts? They come from old wounds, moments in the past where I was excluded and it left a scar on my self worth. Why do I need to battle this emotion? Because if I don't, I may retreat or build resentment, not based on truth, but based on fear. Challenging this emotion helps me stay connected and grounded. Finally, we ask how. How do I express this emotion? I tend to pull away or become quiet, hoping someone notices something is wrong without me saying it. How does this emotion affect my thinking? It clouds my perspective and leads me to believe I'm not cared for, even if that's not true. How does this emotion affect my behavior? I might cancel plans, ignore calls, or act distant instead of simply asking for clarity or sharing my feelings. So, a lot of these what, whys, and hows are our natural responses. Let's think of other ways that are positive in order to move forward when we feel isolated, alone, rejected, abandoned, upset, disappointed. Sometimes talking to a mutual friend about what's going on in your head and in your emotions can help us to have clarity instead of making assumptions that they know that they upset me because they may not know that I'm upset. Use coping skills to curb any negative behavior or negative responses or unhealthy responses. Asking our emotions what, why, and how is very important for emotional health. Emotional health is having a relationship with how we feel. This helps us understand emotional wants and needs. Advocating for ourselves becomes easier when we can identify with how we feel about something. When we take the time to explore our emotions with curiosity and compassion, we begin to form a deeper relationship with ourselves. Asking what, why, and how builds emotional literacy. and with it, the power to advocate for our needs, show up in truth, and heal old wounds. Thank you for watching this video. I invite you to practice asking these questions in your own life. Emotions are messages. Let's listen, learn, and grow through them together. Ciao.